So today we're going to address a smelly dishwasher. There are a lot of fixes out there, a lot of videos on this, but I haven't seen this one, which is the source of the problem on ours. This is a Whirlpool dishwasher. It's a fairly inexpensive one, and we need to disassemble the door. So the first thing we do is open up the dishwasher, and it shows all these screws around the edges. We need to go ahead and start removing those. This is a Torx bit. One at a time. And you want to remove each of these, basically loosen them, but don't take them all the way out yet, just loosen them all the way around. The outside of the door itself is fairly heavy, and without it, the inside panel is going to want to spring up, so you just have to go slowly at this point. Also, you want to keep track of the screws, which one's which. I'm pretty sure they're all the same, but keep them in order so you know which ones went where. Okay, now we've removed all the screws. The ones at the top of the door were longer, so do keep track of which ones go where. And then now that they're all loose, the inside of the door does want to spring up. We're just going to slide the metal front panel, up toward the top. Very gently, just kind of jiggle it, and you'll see how that wants to pop up. Now we can set the front panel to the side. Alright, so then we're going to remove 6 screws from the inside. There's one here, down here, and then the same thing over on the right side. And once we've removed those, the part that is sprung is this black bar. It's under tension. And so now things get a little bit dicier, but it's doable. The other thing to be careful of is these wires. If we pull these apart too much, then it puts some strain on these wires, and it's not necessary to disconnect them. If you look down at the bottom here, this is actually where the whole food problem is, and this is what's causing the smell. So we're going to clean this from this side, and then we're also going to remove this inside panel just enough to get access to this area from the inside as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, you can see that there are 2 holes here, and one of these has a pin, and then the upper one is where that screw went that we just took out. What I'm going to do is pop that steel bar out just enough to release it from that pin, and then I'm going to slide it up so that the pin goes in the top hole. I have to do it on the right side as well at the same time. We'll get those popped in, and that's going to create a little bit of space for us at the bottom, but it'll also hold everything together. Now that we've done that, we open up the door, kind of holding it together since it's under tension, and now we can get full access to this dirty area along the inside from this side. Alright, so I'm just taking a disinfecting wipe. I'm just going to wipe this inside corner of the bottom. Now this you can get to fairly well without removing the door, but not all of it. You can see that's pretty gross. That's about 9 months of grease buildup, even though we've been trying to rinse the dishes better before we stick it in there, but that's where the smell's coming from. And so we just give that area a good wipe. While you're here, go ahead and wipe up this with all the disinfecting wipe all the way up the sides, and then also down behind this gasket. Stuff accumulates down there too. Just kind of gently wipe behind that. So we're back at the front again, haven't changed anything. We've got a few more areas to wipe. Right in here where you can see I'm pointing, that brown, that's all gunk. It's on the inside of this panel. So we're going to reach in here with a wipe and we'll clean as much as we can from this side before we try and get some of it from the other side. The good news is it comes out fairly easily. I'll show you some of that. It's really bad. I've smelled it before. I'd rather not do that during the video. Just going to get as much as I can, reach in here, and being careful of this. This is a sharp bar here. Trying not to cut myself. Get some more there. After you do that inside cleaning down in the corner, then we're just going to do the inside of this little lip, which isn't bad at all. There really shouldn't be any liquid coming up this anyway. But we'll go ahead and give it a wipe with the disinfecting wipe anyway. Just to make sure while we're in here that we've covered all our bases of the possible source of the smell. Right here at the top left side of the door is the steam vent. Really, once we clean the inside, the smell's going to be better coming out of there. But while we have this open and access to it, I'm just going to give it a quick wipe, the areas I can reach. Okay, now I've opened the door back up, and the area where we just removed the worst gunk is right around the inside of this corner. Well, it's kind of hard to reach. We're just going to gently lift up on that so that we get some access to it, and then just reach under. And we're just doing one final cleaning of that. We already cleaned it, but we're going to get just a little bit more when we do this. A little bit more, not too bad. Alright, we're done with the disinfecting cleaning part. So we're going to go ahead and start working on reassembly. Remember, we've got to take these metal brackets off and put the plastic pin back where it's supposed to be. I'm just going to pull it on each side, let the door slide down, let the pin go into the proper hole, which is the lower one, kind of open and close again just to make sure things are seating properly. And then we're going to start putting back in these 6 screws, 3 on each side. We'll have that back in position. Okay, as we put the front panel back on, there are 2 things we need to pay attention to. One is down here, there's this black bracket, and then there's a metal lip on the inside of the door, and that metal lip has to go over that black bracket so it sits on top of it. And then up here at the top, we have to just kind of make sure that this comes in underneath and at the front. We'll see as we put the screws in, things will fit better together here, but those are the 2 pieces the 2 areas that have to fit well. Alright, so what I like to do is put the bottom screw in and the top screw in first, and then I just let everything else fit into place, but that kind of holds it. So I'll put it in there and grab the screwdriver. None of these, I'm not going to tighten any of these until everything's in position. Just kind of get it there in place. Then grab the top screw, which is one of the long ones, and I'm going to put that one in place. Feels like I'm not grabbing the right spot. We'll see here. Yeah, not sure about that. Okay, I just needed to slide it to the side. Like I said, these things have to fit together kind of funny, so it popped into place when I jiggled it a little. Okay, I have the door generally in position now, so I'm just going to put in the rest of these screws along the edges. Again, I'm leaving everything a little bit loose until everything's in position. Okay, all the screws are in place now, so we're just going to go back and tighten all of them. Oops, tighten. Do remember not to over tighten these, just make them as snug as the screwdriver will take them, or hand tighten. There's not much pressure on those. And then last thing, makes everybody happy, just go around with a wipe all the way around the edge and get these little areas clean. And that'll do it. Thanks for watching, hope it helps.